So I've had a few people ask me about my pantry. So in this Great Lakes prepping video, I wanted to show you a little overview of what I've spent the last maybe 2.5 years working on. It's definitely a work in progress, and there's a ton more I want to do, but I've already done an awful lot, so I think it might be of interest to some of you people. I know we've talked a lot about in various comment sections about where do you store all your preps. If you're gonna really prepare all this food and water, where on earth do you put it? So this room became a project that started off just, I don't know, about 2.5 years ago, and I've worked on it as time permits. And I started off with a pretty small little pantry closet off of the kitchen, and it really quickly became just stuffed past capacity. So I got the bright idea to go really elaborate and build probably a completely over engineered and borderline unnecessary room in my house. But I have a sort of a flair for the dramatic, and if I'm going to do something a little bit, I tend to do it a lot. So like I said, it's a work in progress, and it looks kind of empty so far, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of my pantry room. Now anyone who's seen a few of my past videos probably recognizes this table. This is actually my countertop that I installed, and it's a little higher than a countertop might ordinarily be, but that was deliberate so I could fit it, so I could fit my water barrels under it, or at least 3 of them. I got them on these rolling casters. They would be quite impossible for me to move if they weren't on those casters. In fact, they're already pretty hard to move on the casters. But they're tucked out of the way, and I got plenty of working surface above them here. I'm ultimately going to have to get probably 3 or 4 more of these before I'm satisfied, and I suppose I'll just line them up along this wall or something. But here's the door to get in, and once you're inside, I'll give you the view. There's not much going on this wall. That's not all that interesting, but the room really centers around this ridiculously overbuilt shelving unit, and these cabinets. Now, I'm no cabinet maker, and I learned that fact real hard when I built this thing. But I wanted certain size shelves and cabinets and doors, and they're kind of an odd size, so I just had to build everything from scratch, and that's what I have to work with. You might wonder, why are all these middle cupboards so short? Well, the reason for that is because I wanted to build them just the right height to hold, you guessed it, quart mason jars. A lot of mason jars. Oh, I forget the number that I calculated exactly, but I believe I figured it out that all of these shorter shelves will hold a little over 600 of these quart mason jars. And so far, I've only got about 1 of these shelves pretty filled. It's kind of hard to see really back in there to just see how deep this goes in, but I built this storage unit. I built it deep enough that I could store a lot of jars, but not so deep that I couldn't reach the far back jar and pull it out without any serious effort. So that's pretty much the only way that I determined how deep to make it, was how deep I could reach in there. So you can see there's a lot of jars in there. This first shelf has a lot of the real bulk staple type things: rice, pasta, beans. Once I got into the dehydrating, I started working on the fruits and vegetables that I can't get quite as readily already dried from online stores and so forth, or Costco. And just because I got all the space to work with, got a little overflow of the canned good pantry upstairs in here. Like I said, none of these lower shelves are filled yet, but that's the goal. That's the end game. Now these cupboards on the bottom were built specifically for the size of 5-gallon buckets. So the bottom shelf is where those go. I think I can fit about a dozen or so on this bottom shelf, and any more than that I have are just gonna have to get stacked up in the room somewhere. But like you see, there's plenty of room for that. These top shelves, so far I've really just been storing my excess unused mason jars and canning equipment and various kitchen appliances, most of which I showed in a video about my food preservation equipment. I had a little bit of room on the side, so I built this tall little closet on the side. There's not really anything in it yet, just a few cans of butane for my little butane stove. I haven't really filled this thing up yet, but there's a lot of room to work with in there. I can put all sorts of good stuff in there. And I'll probably end up putting more of these little cabinets in, maybe along over the counter space, and maybe along this other blank wall. But these I just store miscellaneous tools in, the wrench to open my water barrels and some various other things. Just really non-food items. We got the family size water filter, lots of disposable gloves. I'm always talking about stocking up on disposable gloves because there's all sorts of icky stuff you might have to do, and hygiene's gonna be more important than ever. This cupboard here just has my little library going in it. Talked about that in a different video. Still lots more to add to that. I don't really have anything in these other cupboards yet, but I'm looking to get this room pretty well stocked. I think I'm off to a good start. Like I said, I overbuilt this thing probably quite severely, but I wanted to make it look nice. I wanted to make it, I hate to use the word professional because that's definitely not what I am, but I wanted to make it nice enough that it wouldn't be a colossal eyesore and home value killer if the day ever comes where I want to sell this house. If I just slap together a bunch of crappy looking garbage, I'd probably have to tear it all back out if I ever moved. Now I'll just leave this whole thing in here, and hopefully a home shopper will be intrigued by it. I'm sure they'll sit here for at least a minute and wonder what in God's name I was using all this for, but heck, maybe someone like me will come along and find it to be a huge selling point. So there you have it, work in progress. I'm sure I'll have a update video down the road to show what else I've done to it, but for those of you who've asked where I store all my stuff, this is it. This is the room. If you have any questions about it or any suggestions for what else I could add to it, I'm all ears. Let me know in the comments there. Any thoughts you have. And I guess that about does it. I'll see you next time.